Hello and welcome to Relax, Relate, Create. I am Demiria Sagwan, owner of Demurals and Designs. Relax, Relate, Create, as many of you know, is my segment of my company where I teach people how to create art. And in some cases, it's craft mode. So I do have a product that I sell called Inspiration Bangles. And basically, they are bracelets that have different words on them. I call them accessories, but basically they're inspiration bangles. And you can order the kits on Etsy. I do have an Etsy site, and I'll make sure that I have that information listed when I post this video. But if you go to Etsy and you search on Build a Bangle kit, you should see the different options. I have several different types of bangles that you can order in your kit. And if once you order a kit, you don't need any more kits. You can order more bangles. So when you order a kit, it comes with a bracelet or bangle of choice. You have resin or plastic bangles, and I'll talk about those in just a second. You also get different words or pictures that are printed out based on whatever theme you chose. You get a small container of Mod Podge glue. You get a paintbrush. All of that comes in your kit, and then you also get a card that has a link for the instructions. This will also be on YouTube, so you can go back and watch this. And then you get tissue paper. So let's say, for instance, you wanted to do a sorority bracelet, and your sorority colors were pink and green. Then you would let me know the name of the sorority, and I would either print out different words, or let's say it's a line name, and then the tissue paper that I would send you would be aligned with whatever colors your sorority or sports team or whatever it is that you're creating. So just make sure when you order, you let me know what your theme is, and then let me know what colors. So we're gonna, first I'm gonna show you the different bracelets that you can buy, or the types of kits. I have a resin acrylic bangle that comes in an irregular shape. It is the most popular. As you can see, it's very, very clear. I have a different type of resin or acrylic bangle. It's clear, but it's not as clear. So this one is going to be a little bit more expensive than this bracelet. But this one is a regular, about 68 or 70 millimeter diameter. So it's all about the width of your palm span, whatever that diameter is. It's not about the size of your wrist. Some people have large wrists, but their hand span is kind of small. I also have this particular size or type in two sizes. I have the 70 millimeter, but I also have an 80 millimeter. And as you can see, my entire fist can fit through that. So this is for those who need an extra large bracelet. Those are resin. I also have a thinner resin. If you don't like the thickness of the cuff type bangle, you can always get a smaller or thinner bracelet. And this is one. This is the 80 millimeter, and this is the 70 millimeter. So you can tell it's a lot thinner for the smaller wrists. And those are the resin bangles that I have available. I also have several clear, transparent plastic bracelets. So for example, this is one, it's see-through. As you can see, if I put this word in here, you can still see it, but it has color. And I have these in different styles, colors. So if you have a specific color that you want, you can order those also. I have a small, extra small clear plastic. Oops, sorry about the extra small clear plastic, which is on the lower cost point. And then I also have one that has flowers on it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to demonstrate to you how the bracelets turn out. So this irregular bracelet ended up looking like this. It is a Black Lives Matter bracelet, and it's just got different words in it. Become the change you want to see, become the dream, leading by example, so forth and so on. But you can see that those words actually look like they're on the inside of the bracelet. I'm using a process called decoupaging. The extra large wide cuff bangle, this is a breast cancer themed bangle, and you can see that I've used a animal print background, but you have various breast cancer things in there. And this one is dance related, so it's got dance, different people dancing, burn the floor, eat, sleep, dance. And you can use, this was a colored bracelet that started probably about this color. This is more of a greenish kind of aqua color. So those are examples. I am going to do a step-by-step demonstration. For those of you who are crafters, this glue is not a regular Elmer's glue, it's Mod Podge. And it's a special glue for decoupaging. You can use matte gloss, it doesn't matter. It's more about the fact that this actually seals the words inside the bracelet so that if it gets wet, you won't have any damage to your bracelet. All right? So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to do this extra large bracelet. So I already have cutouts from magazines and things that I've printed. And I'm just going to show you step by step what to do. The first thing you do is you take your brush and you dip it in the glue. I'm then going to brush this glue inside the bracelet in an area that I think is as wide as the words I'm trying to put in. When I make these, I usually have a specific theme. So this one is themed Your Spirit, and it's focused on what type of energy or vibe you want to have or give off to the world. So that glue is all on the inside. It doesn't matter what direction. And now I'm going to take this word or this phrase and stick it on the inside of the bracelet, pressing it against the glue. If I didn't put enough glue, like this edge right here needs a little bit more, I'm just going to come put a little bit of glue there and over on this side. And now I take the brush and I rub, pressing down pretty hard. I'm pushing that paper into the bracelet. Once it dries just even a little bit, it's hard to get this word or paper out. So make sure you place it where you want it to be. So as you can see, I've glued Your Spirit into the inside of this bracelet. I now have space here and all on the opposite side where I can come and put other words that I've cut out. So I'm working a bit quickly because I don't want the glue to dry too much, because I'm going to add tissue paper with coloration in it, and it's going to give a little bit more color. So I'm just putting glue all over the rest of the empty spaces because I am working kind of quickly. So Your Spirit, you want to be healthy, so I'm just going to stick healthy in here. Your words don't have to be placed in the same direction. You can put them in upside down, diagonal, any direction you want. And you want to try to put them in where you don't have any of the paper that hangs over, but if you do, just push it back over to the inside. I just pushed it back with my finger. And I'm just putting different words and phrases in here that I've already cut. If you print it from a printer and you use too much glue, sometimes your words will bleed out. So if you're not using a laser jet, be careful with how much glue you use when you are doing words with an inkjet printer. I have something that says, think positive, be positive. So I'm just going to put this in here. And all I'm doing, when I get finished putting the word in, I go back with more glue on top of the word just to seal it. So you start with a layer of glue, you put your paper, and then you end with a layer of glue. And it's just sealing it to the bracelet. I cut out passion, figure out where I want to put that. Every time you put a word, if you don't have glue, you must put glue first, then you place the word, and then you come back and put more glue on that word. Fitness. So this is a small word. I'm going to use some of this extra space above Your Spirit and just put some of these smaller words. And by all means, if you want to leave space, you can. You do not have to fill everything in. Let's see. And almost ready for the final step, which is the tissue paper. So what I'm doing is basically going and filling in any large open spaces that I still have. And these bracelets can have any theme you want. Breast cancer, sorority, sports teams, whatever just makes you happy. I've done lots of Black Lives Matter bracelets. They can be family bracelets if you know someone who's getting married and you want to give them a gift. Maybe you find pictures of the bride and groom and just put little words of encouragement to help them get through the marriage. Something that the bride can always wear and go back and smile on those days where marriage is not as rosy as the honeymoon. It's just a reminder of that history of what brought them together. You could do that with anything. It could be the birth of a baby. I've had people do it as memorials for family members that they've lost or someone who was in the military. So just different ways that you can commemorate events or people. I always tell people, cut out more than what you think you need, but as you're gluing, glue in the words and phrases that are priority. You don't want to stop midway and have to go back and cut anything out. You want to just be able to keep going while you're creating. So I only have 2 more words left. I have the world's sexiest and fantastic. So I think I'm going to put fantastic right across the front. And because this last one is really tiny, I can find a place to fit that in. I'm going to do it right down here on the bottom. If you order a kit, make sure you hold on to your brush and any glue that you have left over because then you can order bracelets and not make that investment in a full kit again. The bracelets range anywhere from $2 up to $12 each, depending upon the finish of the bracelet. And the kits are either $20 or $25. All right, so far I've put all the different words in that I wanted. I could leave this and it would dry, all those empty spaces would dry clear. But usually I like to go in and add color. As you can see on this one, you can see some of the different colors. I tell people either when you order, you let me know what color scheme you want. If you want all blues, I can include just the blue tissue papers, but I have tissue paper in all different colors. These are special art tissue paper where it bleeds when it's wet, which means that if you want to merge colors together, this is the best tissue paper to use. If you just use tissue paper from, just a regular drugstore that you use in gift wrap, it's not going to bleed and give you the same dynamics on your bracelet. So I like using multiple colors because it helps you when determining what you want to wear it with. So I think I have enough glue, but if I don't, I'll have to open it. So anyway, now that I'm ready to do my glue, I'm going back. I'm sorry, my tissue paper. I'm going back with more glue. The glue is the key element in this project. So I'm going to start where I began with your spirit. I'm going to put lots of glue because I want those words, your spirit, to actually have some color. I'm going to go with a blue. So I just take the tissue paper right inside where I put the glue. I'm going to lay the tissue paper inside the bracelet. And then I'm coming back on top of it with more glue. And you'll notice, I'll show you in just a second, how the color of the glue on my brush has now changed. And that'll show you that that this tissue paper actually does bleed the color. So I don't know if you can see or not, but that glue is no longer white, it's blue. If you have extra tissue hanging over, I always just bend it back to the inside of the bracelet because if you flip it over to the outside, it's going to take away from the clean finish that you would otherwise have. If you are a purple passion person and you want purple, I don't have and haven't found really a source of lots of purple bleeding tissue paper. So what I do is I mix a hot pink with my blue. And when those colors come together, it makes purple. So it's almost like a fuchsia. And I'll hold it up so you can see. So that's the fuchsia. You can see when I put it with the blue, it changes to like a purple color. So I'm just going to glue this right on top of where I put this blue tissue paper. I'm going to have a little bit of blue where pink overlaps just a bit. And you won't be able to see the true colors until the bracelet dries completely. Usually it takes about 24 hours for it to fully cure, but it depends on how much glue you use. But I usually tell people wait 24 hours before you get it wet. It will be dry to the touch, but it will feel a little bit sticky on the inside. Not very sticky, but you'll be able to tell the difference after 2 hours versus 24 hours. So you can kind of see where on my brush, my glue now looks purple. And as this dries more, you'll start to see the colors even more. But in those empty spaces, you can now see where I added the color. But you will definitely see color come through on these words also. And I'm just going to continue. And I think I'm going to go with a purple base on this bracelet. And I'm just going to do blues and pinks and overlap them so that they have that purple coloration. And this was one of the extra large bracelets. Again, the size on the extra large is 80 millimeters. The regular size is 70 millimeter. The irregular size bracelet is more of a 68 to 70 millimeter. And the plastic bracelets are all about 68 millimeter. Except for the teeny tiny clear ones, those probably are closer to a 66 millimeter. Those work well for teenagers, not itty bitty children, but teenage hands. All right, and I'm just alternating. You can see on the inside, I'm alternating the blue and the pink. Just go back in with glue, and then put your tissue paper, and then more glue. So in your kit, I tried to make sure that I put enough tissue paper to fill the size of the bracelet that you ordered. Because your bracelets might be different each time you order, I will throw in some tissue paper if you're not ordering a kit, as long as you tell me what colors you want. If you don't tell me the colors, then I won't know what to send. All right, I'm going to pick this up. I didn't put it where I wanted it. So notice I just picked that up. It's nice and wet. I can just slide it over and put it where I really wanted it. If I had let that stay in too much longer, I would not have been able to pick it up because it would have been sealed already. But because it was still wet when I caught it, I was able to move it. The words that are in, I can't move them at all. I would have to scrape those completely. So I have enough space for one more blue and one more purple. Or pink, rather. And the Mod Podge you can buy at Walmart. I think a large container is probably about $6, and it goes a really, really, really long way. So when you get yours in the mail, it comes in a little small cup like that. But I give you enough to make at least 2 bracelets if you are not overdoing it with the glue. And if you order 2 kits, then of course everything is duplicated. If you ever wanted to do a party with a group of friends, I could set up a private Zoom, and all you would need to do is order the bracelets. And once you have them, and I know right now we're in a pandemic, so you're not gathering, but if everybody ordered their own kit and you chose a date, I would set up a Zoom, and we could do a Zoom where I demonstrate how to do this. But because this video is here, you wouldn't even need me. You could just set up your own Zoom, turn this video link on, and go for it. But you would need the items from the kit. If you can find the bracelets on your own, I wish you the best of luck. I had to put in a special order, and I had to do a bulk order, so I have tons of bracelets that are available. And right now I'm just looking for a thinner piece to put in. If you can't find one, you can always cut your tissue paper to size, because I have just a little small space where I need tissue paper. And now my bracelet is finished. All I need to do now is let it dry, and you'll be able to see when I hold it up, all of those different spaces have the pink and the blue, and after it starts to dry, you'll be able to see, you can even see the color coming through just a bit on the words already. If you get any glue on the outside, just scratch it off. And then I take my finger while it's wet, and I just kind of rub right along the inside so that any spaces that are not sealed are properly sealed, because you don't want that to get wet. And now it's just a waiting game. All right, and I'm just scratching off some of the extra glue on the outside, but that's how they end up looking. All right, so thank you for following. Hopefully you will be able to make a one of a kind, and that's the cool part about these. Even if I wanted to duplicate this, I would never be able to make two bracelets just alike. Even if I'm printing them out, that's just kind of how art goes. And that's what makes it so valuable, because every time you do a bracelet, even if it's the same exact cutouts, your placement's going to be different. The stroke of your brush is going to be different. Where you put the tissue paper is going to be different. So no two bracelets will ever be just alike. They are all one of a kind, original works of art that you can actually wear and give away as gifts. So thanks again for following. Happy creating. Bye-bye.